Good evening, everybody. A monumental Super Tuesday victory for President Trump. President Trump taking 12 primary states, 2 caucuses, with some winning margins as large as 70%. That's what we call a good day. President Trump winning all but one primary contest, and that was in the state of Vermont. President Trump spoke to a packed house after his resounding victory at Mar-a-Lago and said it's called Super Tuesday for a very good reason.
Very much. They call it Super Tuesday for a reason. This is a big one. And they tell me, the pundits and otherwise, that there's never been one like this. There's never been anything so conclusive. This was an amazing night, an amazing day. It's been an incredible period of time in our country's history. It's been sad in so many ways, but I think it's going to be inspiring because we're going to do something that, frankly, nobody's been able to do for a long time. We've watched our country take a great beating over the last 3 years, and nobody thought a thing like this would be possible. We wouldn't have Russia attacking Ukraine. We wouldn't have Israel being attacked. Iran, as you know, was broke. When I was running things, they were broke. They didn't have money for Hamas. They didn't have money for Hezbollah. We had no inflation. Inflation is destroying the middle class. It's destroying everything. Inflation, if you look back over the history, hundreds of years back, it's called inflation. It's called a country buster. And that's what it's doing to our country. What's happened with inflation has been unbelievable. A lot of people say, a lot of experts have said the stock market's the only thing that's doing well, and that's doing well because our poll numbers are so much higher than Joe Biden's.
So much higher than Biden's. We'll be taking up President Trump's victory and much more on the evening's show with an all-star lineup of guests. We'll be joined by former Trump campaign advisor Roger Stone, host of No Spin News, Bill O'Reilly, Citizens United President David Bossie, and Foundation for Freedom Online Executive Director Mike Benz. And perhaps the best part of last night was that we finally have Nikki Haley departing from the primary process. Haley announcing this morning that she has no path forward to victory, as if most of the country didn't know that almost a year ago. The Rhino talking to a rather small crowd, an indifferent crowd it seemed, in South Carolina this morning, wishing President Trump well, but not endorsing it.
I am filled with the gratitude for the outpouring of support we've received from all across our great country. But the time has now come to suspend my campaign. I said I wanted Americans to have their voices heard. I have done that.
She has done that. And to what value? It's hard to figure. It's clear that Haley's corporate masters haven't released her yet to give President Trump an endorsement. As we await Haley to fall in line with what is the inevitable, this Republican Party is Donald Trump's party, without question, without equivocation. The Marxist-run mainstream media, they have to stay ahead of the curve. And here is CNN's Jake Tapper and John King trying to work it all out last night.
The map tells you what you need to know. The delegate count tells you what you need to know. The percentage of it has actually jumped up even more. It's 88% of the delegates, so you're looking at the percentage. Donald Trump cannot mathematically clinch tonight, but he can get within 100 or so of what he needs, and he can do that next week. And so what you have here is, he has remade the party in his image. There are still some Republicans who are trying to take it away, like take it back. Right? That's over. That's over. There's no back. That party doesn't exist anymore. Right. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Look at the House of Representatives. Look at what's happening in the United States Senate. Mitch McConnell stepping aside. And some of the more governing conservatives trying to keep their power even just within the Senate Republican conference. This is a new Republican Party. And so you have a very formidable Republican frontrunner who has remade the party in his image. And I know a lot of people at home are asking, well, wait a minute. We all saw January 6th. Wait a minute. Innocent until proven guilty, but there's all these cases. He has convinced them he won the last election. Never mind anything that happened since then. A majority of these voters are going to the polls in most of these states still saying that, Donald Trump should be president. Yeah. And so this is his party. And again, Sometimes I think you have to stop talking. Just look. This is his party.
I think they've established that the Republicans, they are Donald Trump's party without question or equivocation. And that's got to be the first time that I've heard a CNN report of the truth in a long time. So with CNN accepting the reality, it's interesting to see where Fox News stands on the obvious. You may recall the head of Fox News, Rupert Murdoch, said he wouldn't support Donald Trump's presidency. So what did he do? He tried to prop up Ron DeSantis, and that was an utter failure. Then his plan B was Nikki Haley. That was an utter failure, perhaps even greater failure. So what is next for the Murdochs and Fox News? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Let's bring in our first guest now, political strategist, longtime advisor to President Trump, host of the Stone Zone, and best-selling author Roger Stone. Roger, great to have you with us.
Lou, it's great to be with you.
Let's start with everyone seemingly struggling to accept the reality that the Republican Party is now Donald Trump's party.
Well, Lou, they're exactly right. It's been transformed from being the party of Wall Street, the party of big business, the party of special interests, the party that had a homogenous and neocon foreign policy attitude, to being the party of working people, the party of putting America first, the party of making America great again. It's a very different Republican Party. It's a broader and more inclusive Republican Party. It's also a more attractive Republican Party. So when they say, well, there are some Republicans who've tried to take the party back. Yeah, Republicans who think the Republican Party should be indistinguishable from the Democratic Party when it comes to closing the border or funding foreign wars or abandoning our energy independence. I think the party now is stronger, more vibrant, more viable than it's ever been.
And the polling is showing that, or it at least seems to be showing that, because his numbers, Donald Trump's numbers, are rising. Joe Biden is just simply submerging in amidst all of the polls. He has nothing to commend himself to the American people, the American voter right now.
What you say is exactly right. It's not just these enormous Trump margins, but look at the turnout. The turnout demonstrates real intensity. There's an anxiousness. People want to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Sure, Joe Biden got 95.6 or 96.5% of the vote in South Carolina, but look at how low the total of turnout was. There's no enthusiasm for his candidacy. Last night, I had an MSNBC reporter ask me, aren't you concerned that in a Trump-Biden rematch that voters will refocus on the things they don't like about Trump? But doesn't that concern you? I said, no, actually, what I'd like to see is a focus on Trump's record and the current record. You can take it anywhere you want. Gas prices, inflation, the safety and security of our neighborhoods, the security at our border, or peace in the world. I'm anxious for that comparison. That's a comparison that I think Donald Trump wins.
I do too. And I also think it's going to be very difficult to convince the Marxist Dem corporate media to do that comparison honestly and with objectivity, because it is a done deal. If you look at President Trump's record, you look at what he has done over the course of his first term and what he proposes to do now, it's a runaway, isn't it?
Well, that's why they're putting all their eggs in the basket of this tsunami of lawfare. You heard it right there in that CNN clip. But he's convinced the people that January 6th doesn't matter. Well, first of all, there's no evidence of a crime. This is lawfare. First, they filed this documents case in Florida, but then when they got an honest judge in Florida, that's when they decided they needed to file a case in another jurisdiction, a jurisdiction they could control. So they're putting all their eggs in that basket. They can't win a free, fair, honest, heads-up election comparing the Trump record and the Biden record. So they seek to drain the president's time, drain his money, have him stuck in a courtroom when he should be out campaigning. That really is their entire strategy. It's lawfare.
It is lawfare, and it is a vicious strategy. It is mendacious, and it is something, in my opinion, the Supreme Court should deal with forthwith. they should intervene in the Marxist Dems' interference in this presidential election. I can't imagine why they haven't already. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, in the Colorado ruling by the Supreme Court, which was about a ballot access question, notice they only ruled on the narrow question of whether the states had the authority to ban a federal candidate from the ballot. They never addressed the broader question of whether Article 14, Section 3 of the Constitution would prohibit Trump from being president. I don't believe it does, but that case will get made again. So if Trump wins, or I should say when he wins, because I believe he's going to win, they're going to try to relitigate that question. You can almost see it guaranteed. And then a great piece in The Atlantic yesterday saying, well, if Trump is elected, perhaps we, the Democrats, should refuse to certify his election in the Electoral College. Wait a minute, isn't that precisely what they say Donald Trump did and they claim was a crime? But now they're openly saying perhaps that's what the Democrats should do. Hypocrisy here is knee-deep.
And an accurate self-image on the part of the Marxist Dems is not their strong suit. To think that they would even bring that up speaks to their level of hypocrisy and a lack of understanding of just who they are seen as by the American people. We're talking with Roger Stone, and it is always a delight to talk with you. I appreciate you being with us, and come back soon, will you, Roger?
Lou, great to be here, and God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you. Coming up next, we'll be joined by an old friend of mine. That's right, Bill O'Reilly. He joins us right after this quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Beautiful.
So,
looks like you've been sleeping well,
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
and you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our My Pillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50%, and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Pillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from My Pillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
And welcome back. The California Senate race will be a showdown between Adam Schiff and Steve Garvey. Schiff is the shifty Democrat goon, I think that's a good word, who led the first impeachment inquiry against Donald Trump. Garvey is a former Dodgers MVP and pro-Trump Republican. Garvey led the polls without spending a single dollar on TV ads, and he's campaigned on closing the border and returning to law and order.
Well, what I would do is I'd close the border. I'd take a deep breath. We have a process that immigrants can start in their country, and that process can take them to the United States, and then a pathway to becoming citizens. I think now we have to really focus on the real existential problems, and that's fentanyl and drugs. It's human trafficking. I'm about law and order.
And also in the state of California, San Francisco residents voting to pass two public safety ballot measures. One, a measure to crack down on welfare recipients suspected of using drugs, and the other, giving the police more crime-fighting resources and powers. The city, a citadel of liberalism, but even there, the walls are crumbling. And now, how could they not? The consequences of the Democrat anarchy tyranny are all around them. And in Washington, a state trooper was just killed by an illegal alien driving under the influence. The culprit is an illegal immigrant from Mexico who was sentenced to jail in 2014 for driving with a suspended license. In 2019, he was charged with domestic assault, and now Washington State Trooper Christopher Gadd has been killed. A casualty of soft-on crime and open borders policies, he leaves behind a wife and a daughter. Do Democrats even care about any of this? I don't think they do. And they think it's funny that anyone else does. Watch MSNBC's Jen Psaki and Rachel Maddow laugh and mock Virginia voters for caring about the border crisis, where just a few weeks ago, an illegal immigrant released by the Biden administration was arrested for raping a 14-year-old girl.
But Republican voters don't vote that way. They don't vote based on economics or based on the benefits they're getting economically from the president. They're increasingly, from the Tea Party on, they're voting on race. They're voting on this idea of an invasion of brown people over the border. The idea that they can't get whatever job they want. A black person got it, therefore drive all the blacks out of the colleges, get rid of DEI. That is what they're voting on. They're just voting specifically on racial animus. At this stage, it isn't about economics.
No. I mean, if you look at some of these exit polls, I mean, I live in Virginia. Immigration was the #1 issue. I mean, again, these could change in Virginia.
Well, Virginia does have a border with West Virginia. Very contested area.
Build the wall. Like, what?
And just before we went to break in the last segment, I told you that we had a special guest today, and here he is, Bill O'Reilly, an old friend, colleague, and great American. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Lou. I appreciate the great American thing. You know, I don't know if I can rise up to that, but I try.
Well, you've met the standard more times than you probably counted. So it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Let's talk about first the president. I think it's the greatest comeback in political history, what he has done here as of Super Tuesday. Your thoughts?
You're talking about Trump now.
I am.
Okay. Because Biden may make a comeback on Thursday with the State of the Union. I don't think so, but possible. Donald Trump is a unique character. I just completed my next book called Confronting the Presidents, No Spin Assessments from Washington to Biden. Mm-hmm. And we write about every single president, all 45 of them, whether they helped or hurt the United States. Trump is unique. He has nothing in common with any of the other presidents, whereas the other 44 have similarities, right. Not Trump. So when you go outside the mold like he has, and when you understand that you establish a base of power, which he has, that base of power stays unless you really screw up, unless you really go in the face of your audience,
right?
Like Fox did. See, Fox got hurt because it went away from its core audience that started with it and veered into territories that the audience, it was discombobulated. Trump never did that. He stayed right in the MAGA zone. So I don't know if it's a comeback so much as he is able to take advantage of a weak opponent. And that's a big advantage for Trump. Joe Biden is the second worst president in the history of this country. And he's taking advantage of that. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that he solidified his base, respects his base, the MAGA people, and then he's exploiting the weakness of his competitor.
The reason I say it's the greatest comeback is that this man has been assailed for 9 years now. We're in the 9th year of the political persecution of Donald Trump. The Marxist Dems and the Marxist Dems who run the Democrat Party have tried to destroy this man. They have done everything in their power. And at one point, I think the left really thought they were going to win this thing out. I think that has been dispelled. What do you think?
Well, I think that it's terrible, particularly the cases in New York. They're terrible. Yeah. It's an abuse of power to target one single American, whether he's a politician or not, and use the power of the state to try to destroy the person. And we all know, you know better than anybody because you're an economics guy, that what he's allegedly done in the real estate business happens all the time. And this is the only time it's ever been prosecuted. I think that the fine and all that will get thrown out at the federal level. I think you're going to see that. The abuse of power is very disturbing, not just for Trump, but if these people can target somebody like that, they can target you and me and everybody else. The second thing is that the media enables all this. It used to be that the media acted as kind of a restraint, all right? But now the media has allied itself with the Democratic Party. It's one and the same. And so that Trump stands almost by himself. He's got the MAGA people, right, but he doesn't have any media to speak of. He's got right-wing talk radio, a few people on Fox, not that many anymore, and then Newsmax. But Newsmax doesn't reach that many people. So it's disturbing that the United States of America could come to this kind of a partisan play when the founders gave the press special power to stop just this thing. But they're on board with it.
What we're watching now is the checks and balances of this great constitutional republic are not working. There is no countervailing force within our government, whereas there has always been in times previous when challenged, when confronted with a threat from within or without, we could rely upon the judiciary to be at least neutral. We could rely upon the prosecutors of the Department of Justice not to be corrupt. And we could rely on presidents to certainly fulfill their duties under the Constitution, whether it is securing the border, whether it is defending this nation against invasions of illegal aliens, whatever it may be. We do not have that rationality. We do not have that clear set of principles guiding us right now, because this president has simply thrown them out. And we have really nowhere to go but to Donald Trump, in my opinion.
A lot of people believe what you believe, that if you compare Trump's 4 years just policy-wise to Biden, there's no comparison. Right. I mean, the welfare of the country was much higher under Trump than it is under Biden.
Absolutely.
I mean, and every poll shows that, every single poll. The problem with Donald Trump is that he's undisciplined and that he diverts away from his policy success into the personal realm.
Right.
He doesn't have to do that anymore. You don't have to do that. You don't have to attack Nikki Haley's husband. That's not necessary. So if he would stop that, and we've seen a little moderation in the last couple of weeks with the Super Tuesday speech. He didn't hammer anybody. If he stays in the statesman realm, he will win.
I think you're right. And I think also what we're watching are the globalist elites, the business community, Wall Street, moving toward him right now. He hasn't moved. His policies haven't changed, as you established right from the beginning of this discussion. They're moving toward him. They have seen the failed policies of the Biden administration, if you can really call them policies. And you also know that this president was the most effective president we had had in modern history. And so there's a proved record. There is an established America First agenda, and Make America Great Again as the base and as the direction we're headed. So I think that it's interesting to see Wall Street suddenly backpedaling on ESG. They're starting to backpedal on DEI, diversity and equity and inclusion. And that to me is really important because this president, I know a lot of the elites want him to come to them, but if he goes to them, that defeats his entire purpose.
He doesn't need to do that. Wall Street just wants to make money. They don't care. They couldn't care about DEI, MSNBC. They just want to make money. And it's dawned on these money people that Trump, in the way that he crafted the economy, lower interference from the federal government, number one. Remember, Biden's regulations, and people don't even know what they are. But as soon as he got in, he started to regulate the fossil fuel industry, which lighted up inflation. As soon as he got in, slapped all these regulations on the fuel industry, and the fuel industry goes, holy, you know what? We better raise our prices now because we're going to have to be paying all this stuff down the road. That's what ignited inflation. And then Biden gets out there and goes, oh, we're bringing inflation down. Well, who started it? You. Okay? And he's not really bringing inflation down. That's a number. The necessities of life, food, fuel, insurance premiums, they're as high as they've ever been. They're not coming down. And that's, again, why Biden's getting hammered in the polls, because people know what they're paying in the grocery store. So he can say whatever he wants to say. But the way Trump governed was it was deal after deal after deal after deal after deal. And most of the deals worked out, not only in the economy, but also overseas, okay? Which is just now a calamity everywhere because Biden doesn't have a cohesive foreign policy.
To say the least. He knew full well, his intelligence agencies knew full well when Vladimir Putin assembled 200,000 troops on the eastern border of Ukraine, that Vladimir Putin would be invading. He didn't act. He knew full well, a year in, that they could negotiate a peace. He refused. He has so many calamities that are his burden. I don't think it's possible for this man to achieve anything approaching a favorable rating. And I don't believe that the American people will tolerate this again from the Marxist Dem policies that have, first of all, put an illegitimate president in the Oval Office, and secondly, have put an impaired, cognitively impaired, and compromised president there. I don't think the American people are going to forget that. Do you?
Well, Trump should be up by 20 points in the polls. He's up by 5. And that's because of Trump. It's because of his demeanor. If he moderates his demeanor, as we were just talking about, you will see a rise. There is no one that I know, and I know a lot of liberal people.
I was afraid of that.
I really want Joe Biden to be reelected. Yeah. Do you know anybody? Nobody. Just a hardcore progressive left because Biden does what they want. They're the ones that want the open border, okay? But there's no regular folks going, we got to have 4 more years of Joe. There's no enthusiasm at all. It's all, he's better than Trump. That's what Biden's got going for him. And that's what he'll campaign on. Yeah, I may be a screw up, but he's worse. And if that's your campaign, you really have nothing.
Exactly. And you and I agree on that entirely because this president has offered the American people nothing. It's a
disaster. It's the second worst next to James Buchanan. And I know you're familiar with James.
Personal
I
friend.
think you guys were roommates in college,
That's
you
right.
and James
That's
Buchanan.
Right.
But he was the worst. Wait till you read my book, this guy. But Biden's second. He's worse than Herbert Hoover and Warren Harding and all of these screw-ups. And when I said that on News Nation the other night, and I thought that the liberal hosts on there, and it's evenly divided. News Nation does a good job. I thought they were going to have a heart attack when I see he's the second worst president, but he is.
Don't be a disruptor, Bill. Don't be a disruptor.
Me?
Oh.
I would never be a disruptor. Me? Come on.
Bill O'Reilly, we appreciate you being with us. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts and your perspective and your wisdom. And always,
good to see you, Lou.
my friend.
Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Bill O'Reilly, thanks so much. And folks, the Biden administration, as Bill has just suggested, has been holding some secret meetings with members of the Chinese Communist Party. And that doesn't seem helpful, does it? We're going to take that up right after these words. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
And welcome back. Donald Trump crushing every other Republican candidate in the primaries. His last opponent, Nikki Haley, finally suspended her presidential campaign following Super Tuesday's primary results. Here is a recap of last night's victory for President Trump.
The Fox News Decision Desk can now project that former President Donald Trump will win Virginia's Republican primary, Alabama, Tennessee, there you go,
North Carolina,
Oklahoma, Minnesota,
the state of Texas, the state of Maine, the state of Arkansas. Yet another state on the big board for Donald Trump this evening.
President Biden will lose to Jason Palmer, a self-described entrepreneur and investor. He's going to win the American Samoa Democratic Caucus. This marks President Biden's first loss in the 2024 primaries. Palmer takes 4 delegates. President Biden takes 2. We saw uncommitted with more than 100,000 votes in Michigan. I don't even know who Jason Palmer is.
And now, of course, it's time for the Republicans to unite, to focus on defeating the Marxist Democrats. The people want President Donald Trump, and yesterday's voter turnout proves that, exactly that. So what is the Marxist Dems' plan to take down Trump now? Joining us to talk about President Trump's massive victory, and here is David Bossie. He's the president of Citizens United, and he's one of the sharpest political analysts in the country. David, great to have you with us. I have to think that this was an amazing result, and I have to also believe it's something you fully expected.
Well, thanks for having me back, Luke. Absolutely, I did expect this. This has not been a race. This is a concocted race by the mainstream media, who continues their hatred of Donald Trump. Anything they can do to weaken him by creating, over the last several months, this facade of a Nikki Haley candidacy, when in fact she was no more serious to Donald Trump than this person, Jason Palmer, was to Joe Biden. I never heard of this person until last night, and he won 4 delegates in the American Samoa and defeated the incumbent president. So the mainstream media is still suffering and will continue to suffer from Trump delusion syndrome. They will never stop until 8 months from now, when Donald Trump wins the White House. I think their collective heads will explode.
And I see signs of that explosion detonating right now. This is the entire Marxist Dem movement that obviously runs this president, Joe Biden, runs the government. They are without question intent upon keeping their power, and the only way they can do that is to operate with Joe Biden's assent to what they want to do, whether it's the border, whether it's Ukraine, whether it is a host of other issues across the country. He is destroying the nation, and there's no other way to look at it. And
Lou, I call it American carnage. That's what we have been living through these last 3+ years of Joe Biden's Marxist administration. That's what this is. And you hit it right on the head. They have to destroy Donald Trump in order to continue their grip on power. That is all this is. They have destroyed and attempted to destroy our economy. They have opened our borders to destroy our national sovereignty. They are spending money, overseas in these foreign wars that the American people do not support. The Marxist regime that is the Biden administration must be defeated come November to save America, to make sure our children and grandchildren continue to have what Ronald Reagan said was the last great hope on earth, the United States of America, that shining city on a hill. We have to have that hope. And I want it for my children, my grandchildren. And I know that the American people believe that and agree with that, because if you look at the polls, and I know you're a student of this, you look at these polls, Donald Trump defeats Joe Biden in every single one of them.
And there couldn't be a more powerful statement than that, the fact that every element of that polling, every slice and dice category, President Trump prevails. And you wonder what will be the response of the Marxist Dems. They are not going to simply, I think, let this simply unfold in the favor of Donald Trump and the Republican Party and America. I think they're going to fight back. I just can't figure out how in the world they do so. Can you?
Lou, they have attacked this man viciously for 9 years straight, starting in 2016 when they spied on our campaign, and they have never stopped. They have rogue prosecutors, attorneys general using the force of lawfare against this president, against our president, President Trump, at every turn, trying to indict him, trying to jail him, trying to kill him, trying to destroy him financially. So to answer your question, they've already done, I don't know the answer, because they have about thrown everything they can at him, and he is stronger today than he has ever been. And let me just give you a couple of stats real quick that I think are very telling. When in that New York Times poll from last week, 97% of those polled that voted for Donald Trump in 2020 say they are going to vote for him again in 2024. However, only 85% of those who said they voted for Joe Biden in 2020 say they are voting for Joe Biden again. A full 10% of that Biden vote has said they are going to switch votes from Biden to Trump. And that is the key to victory for President Trump this November.
We're looking at a week from now, more delegates at stake and enough to push President Trump over the magic number of 1215. Do you expect him to win that next Tuesday?
Yeah, I think that's a fait accompli, Lou. And it really, at this point, because Nikki Haley suspended her campaign today, it is, for all intents and purposes, President Trump is the nominee, the presumptive nominee of the Republican Party, and we are on for that rematch, that incredible rematch. And when President Trump wins, this will be the greatest comeback in American history.
David Bossie, Citizens United. Thanks for being with us, my friend. David Bossie.
Thanks, Lou.
Coming up next, the Biden administration secretly meeting with members of the Chinese Communist Party. What's so secretive? And what does the CCP have on Joe Biden? More on that coming right up. Stay with us.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The MyPillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, MyPillow 2.0. When I invented MyPillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. MyPillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature-regulating thread. MyPillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of MyPillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Welcome back. Republican Wyoming Senator John Barrasso says Joe Biden is sleeping with the enemy. Department of Energy officials quietly met with members of the CCP and its allies in China several times since October. Barrasso made the allegations in a letter to Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm. Biden officials allegedly offered, taxpayer-funded research and development of our national labs. Isn't that a nice offer? And the Biden administration is treating our economic and national security like a bargaining chip. Our nation's most advanced technology being proffered to our nemesis. And there's a word for that. Meanwhile, the FBI says Iran is targeting Trump-era officials. They're still sore about Donald Trump taking out Qasem Soleimani. Trump neutralized the elite Iranian commander in 2020 with a drone strike. The feds are seeking information about a man who they suspect is Iran's leading assassin. President Trump's special envoy for Iran, Brian Hook, is on that hit list. How's that for a contrast? Biden is so soft on our enemies that they know they can play him and push him around, and they don't fear Biden whatsoever, not like they did Donald Trump. And joining us now is Mike Benz. He's executive director of the Foundation for Freedom Online. He's also an expert on international relations, foreign affairs, as well as cybersecurity. And it is great to have you with us, Mike. Let's begin with where we are right now with Iran, where we are with this administration having secret meetings, and for what purpose, and where is all of this leading in your judgment?
Yeah, it's really extraordinary, actually, the data points that you just put up on screen, because it really gets to the Biden world's grand energy plays around everything from Ukraine to Iran to Qatar. There was this situation where a lot of people were very curious about the Obama administration's diplomacy with Iran between the Iran, it was referred to as the Iran nuclear deal, but it was actually an energy deal. It was a relief of sanctions. Theoretically, the idea was if you could stop Iran from developing a nuclear bomb and you could have them pinky promise that, then Iran would be able to open up its oil and gas for exports. Iran sits on the world's basically second and third largest supplies of oil and gas after the U.S. and Russia, respectively. So there is this untapped bounty for financial stakeholders to basically partner with Iran, and as long as the U.S. sanctions could be done away with. And that was basically what the Obama scheme was with the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan around nuclear weapons and energy. And Trump did away with that deal on basically day one in office, setting up basically a collision course with Trump's foreign policy and the financial investments that had already been made by a coterie of oil and gas companies and investors who were anticipating Iran to spill open. So, a great example of this is an entity called the Atlantic Council. The Atlantic Council is, one of the biggest political, backers within the think tank world of Joe Biden. They gave him a Distinguished Medal Award. They have 7 CIA directors on their board of directors. They get annual funding from the Pentagon, the State Department, and CIA cutouts like the National Endowment for Democracy. And they had been plotting for a very long time the ability to open up Iran's exports and have Western energy companies basically swoop in. Now, at the same time, they were planning this maximum pressure campaign against Russia to kick Russian gas off of the European market. Now, Trump basically reversed that, where he did maximum pressure on Iran and relative neutrality with Russia with respect to energy relations, which basically sent the Biden world financial stakeholders into a tizzy, and that's really what a lot of is driving this national security state versus Trumpism.
And I want to turn to, now that we are deeply into the election season, and President Trump obviously headed toward being the presumptive nominee of the Republican Party. There's great fear that we're going to see the Marxist Dems, we're going to see the deep state once again assert themselves and try to cheat Donald Trump once again out of his presidency. Are you seeing any signs that is particularly vigorous and energized right now? What is your thinking about the response of the opposition party and the Marxist Dems who mean to shut down this country?
Yeah, my main focus is on internet censorship and how elections can be rigged through essentially censoring opposition parties or picking, the state picking favorites on social media, which is something that the United States Treasury sanctions foreign countries and does not recognize elections as being free and fair unless there is both sides media access, which is quite ironic given that the U.S. government has basically, should be sanctioned under its own diplomatic norms for what they did in 2020 and in the 2022 midterms. But essentially what's happening right now is, as the government's role in censorship is currently being litigated before the Supreme Court, oral arguments are underway in the Missouri v. Biden case, which puts the government on trial, the federal government on trial for the 2020 election censorship operation. They have now turned to the states. So the state of Pennsylvania, under the governor there and under the Pennsylvania State Secretaries of State's office, has just set up a new misinformation unit to work directly with the Biden Department of Homeland Security to access their domestic disinformation switchboard. And we know the way that tilts, that's going to be just mass flagging of pro-Trump tweets and Facebook posts and YouTube videos all over the internet, calling basically anything pro-Trump to be misinformation. We know Michigan just set up the same state-level censorship cell. The Michigan State Secretary of State's office bragged that they're working with 6 other battleground states for basically a coalition network of state-level censorship of pro-Trump tweets. And if you add Michigan to +6, that sounds like it's all 7 battleground states where you're going to have the literal state government engaged in a mass flagging operation to try to stop the groundswell of domestic support for Donald Trump. I just want to say one quick thing while we have time on the Iran thing, because you mentioned the role of China in this, and it's quite extraordinary because it goes straight to the top with the Biden world. Hunter Biden himself, we shouldn't forget this. Iran signed a $400 billion trade agreement with China just 2 years ago, $400 billion with a B, which was basically a massive export plan for China to actually evade the U.S. sanctions on Iran, since there was no nuclear deal in place anymore. So China, we don't enforce those sanctions against China. So China had a get out of sanctions free card worth $400 billion. And who was partnered directly with one of the largest state oil and gas exporting and processing companies in China for 3+ years recently? That was revealed by the laptop scandal. Hunter Biden was personally partnered with CEFC China Energy specifically on the export of gas, around liquefied natural gas, LNG. And now you have a Chinese company who's carrying out the exports and without needing the congressional seal of approval of any sort of JCPOA 2.0. So it looks like the same sort of Chinese benefactors to Biden world are helping them basically go through with this backdoor Iran deal.
They bear watching, don't they? Mike Vince, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it so much. Thanks for joining us every time you illuminate all that is going on in this country. And join us each and every day on my podcast, The Great America Show, available at LouDobbs.com. Wherever you get your podcast, we're glad to serve you. And thanks for being with us this evening. Join us here tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs joins us, and the Lindell Report is coming up next. And you do not want to miss it, so please don't. Good night, and God bless you.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I